A few months ago, I received a handwritten letter from one of my longtime patients. She's 78 years old, lives alone in Oregon, and used to walk every morning to her garden, filled with lavender and tomatoes. But in her letter, she wrote one simple line that stayed with me. "Doctor, I miss the days I could walk to my garden." Her legs had begun to swell, her joints felt stiff, and every step became a struggle. I could feel the quiet sorrow in her words, not just about the pain, but about the loss of movement, of freedom. That letter reminded me why I became a doctor. And it also led me to look deeply into what helps people age not just longer, but better. My search took me to the mountains of Japan, where many elders in their 80s and 90s still walk with ease, garden every day, and climb stairs without help. The secret? A way of eating that supports the joints from within, starting with collagen. Today, I want to share with you 6 powerful natural foods from the Japanese kitchen that are rich in collagen or help your body create more of it. They're gentle, comforting, and most importantly, support your ability to move, to walk, to live. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from? And what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Why are your legs swelling? The hidden link between collagen and poor circulation. Let's take a closer look at why so many older adults, perhaps even you, begin to notice swelling in the lower legs. It's not just age, it's not just gravity. One of the lesser-known culprits? Collagen loss. Collagen isn't just about skin and wrinkles. It forms the structure of your blood vessels, lymphatic channels, and the connective tissue that holds everything together. As collagen levels drop, the walls of your veins become less elastic. The valves inside these veins, tiny flaps that help keep blood flowing upward, start to weaken. The result? Blood and lymph start to pool in your legs. You may notice puffiness around the ankles in the evening, socks leaving deep impressions, or a heaviness in your legs after standing or sitting too long. That's poor circulation. That's collagen calling for help. In Japan, where older adults often maintain better mobility, there's a cultural understanding that food is medicine. They focus not just on calories or vitamins, but on what nourishes the body's deeper layers, the joints, the fascia, the very vessels that carry life through us. When I worked in a small community clinic in Okinawa, I saw elderly patients in their 80s walking to appointments, standing tall with little to no swelling. They weren't taking expensive supplements, they were simply eating differently. Collagen-rich broths, fish skin, miso, and foods that have supported circulation for centuries. And that's the gentle truth I want to share with you. If your legs feel heavy, if swelling is slowing you down, don't just reach for another pill. Let's look at what's on your plate, because what you eat can become your body's repair kit from the inside out. How the Japanese diet keeps seniors walking strong into their 90s. In the countryside towns of Japan, it's not unusual to see elders in their 80s and 90s sweeping their porches, tending to gardens, or riding bicycles to the market. These are not isolated stories. They're the norm. Japan has one of the highest life expectancies in the world, but what's more impressive is the quality of those years. A big part of this longevity comes down to how they eat. In Japanese culture, food isn't just fuel, it's a lifelong teacher. There's even a word for it, shokuiku, which means food education. From a young age, children are taught not just what to eat, but why it matters, how certain foods support your bones, your joints, your circulation. This isn't a diet, based on restriction or trends. It's about harmony. Meals are small but balanced. You'll often find a warm bowl of miso soup, a small piece of grilled fish, a few slices of pickled vegetables, and a portion of rice, served not rushed, but savored. Importantly, the Japanese diet is naturally rich in nutrients that support collagen production and joint health. They eat foods that keep inflammation low, blood vessels elastic, and connective tissues strong. Unlike in many Western diets, where collagen comes mainly in the form of supplements, in Japan, it's simply part of what's on the plate. When I visited a health center in Shikoku, I met a 94-year-old woman who walked every morning to her neighborhood shrine. She had no walker, no cane, just steady legs and a peaceful face. I asked her secret, and she smiled and said, "I eat warm food and I chew slowly. My bones thank me." That moment stayed with me. It reminded me that healing doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes the path to stronger joints, better circulation, and reduced swelling starts with a quiet bowl of soup or a bite of fish skin. These foods carry centuries of wisdom, and they invite us to slow down and listen to our bodies. So let's now take a closer look at 6 collagen-rich foods in the Japanese diet that can help reduce swelling and support your joints from the inside out. Collagen through 1. Nankotsu, chicken cartilage. A crunchy treasure in Japanese izakaya. In a small backstreet izakaya, a kind of casual Japanese pub, you might find a surprising dish on the menu. Nankotsu, or grilled chicken cartilage. Served with just a sprinkle of salt and a squeeze of lemon, it arrives sizzling and slightly crispy. For many Westerners, it might seem strange, but in Japan, this humble dish is considered a hidden gem, especially among elders who care for their joint health. Chicken cartilage is incredibly rich in type 2 collagen, the exact type of collagen that makes up the flexible tissue in our joints. Unlike type Y collagen, which supports skin and bones, type D is concentrated in the cushions between your bones, where swelling and stiffness often begin. By consuming it in food form, you're delivering building blocks directly to the places that need them most. But nankotsu isn't just nutritious, it's symbolic. In Japan, there's a cultural respect for using every part of the animal. This practice, rooted in gratitude and sustainability, also brings health benefits Hotten science is only beginning to understand. One of my patients, a retired librarian from California, once told me she struggled with clicking knees and tight hips. After adding cartilage-rich broth to her weekly meals, made by simmering chicken joints and bones for hours, she noticed it's something subtle but powerful. "It's not like I became 20 again," she said, laughing, "but getting up from the couch isn't a fight anymore." That's the kind of progress I love to see. Gentle, steady, sustainable. If grilling cartilage like they do in izakayas isn't your style, there are gentler ways to enjoy its benefits. Try simmering chicken feet or chicken necks with ginger and green onions to make a light broth. You can sip it warm, add it to rice, or use it as a base for soups. Over time, these small additions to your diet can provide a steady stream of joint-supporting nutrients. In Okinawa, one elderly woman I met would start every winter morning with a cup of chicken cartilage soup. Her secret? A long simmer and a quiet kitchen. She believed warmth, not just from the broth, but from the act of preparing it, was healing in itself. And perhaps she's right. Collagen doesn't just build tissue, it builds connection. To food, to tradition, to the simple joys of movement. Let's continue now with the second food, one you've likely seen but might not have paid attention to, the skin of a fish. Collagen food 2. Fish skin, the overlooked superfood on your plate. In Japan, it's common to see elders savoring every bite of a grilled fish, including the skin. At first glance, it may seem like a small detail, but this habit reflects something deeper, a cultural understanding that nourishment lies in the parts many people throw away. Fish skin is one of the most collagen-rich parts of the fish. It's packed with type I collagen, which supports not just your skin, but also your blood vessels and tendons. As we age, our blood vessels can become stiff and less responsive, contributing to swelling and poor circulation. Collagen helps maintain their flexibility, allowing blood to flow more freely, especially to the lower legs and feet. In many Western households, fish is served without the skin. But in Japan, skin-on fish like saba, mackerel, salmon, and samba, Pacific sori, are grilled until slightly crisp on the outside and tender inside. It's both flavorful and deeply restorative. One winter, I visited a small seaside town near Hokkaido. An 86-year-old man invited me to lunch, where he served grilled salmon with the skin perfectly crisped. He told me it reminded him of his childhood, when nothing was wasted. He believed the skin made his knees softer. He still climbed the stairs in his home 3 times a day. The benefits of fish skin go beyond collagen. It also contains omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation, and trace minerals that support joint repair. The combination of these elements is gentle but powerful, especially for aging bodies that no longer bounce back the way they used to. If the idea of eating fish skin is new to you, start small. Choose wild salmon or mackerel with the skin on. Bake or pan-sear it until the skin is slightly crispy. You can season it simply with sea salt and lemon, just like in a Japanese kitchen. The texture might surprise you in the best way. Another option is to make a light fish broth using the bones and skin. Add ginger, a touch of miso, and maybe a piece of kombu, kelp, to deepen the flavor. Sip it slowly and let it do its quiet work inside you. In Japanese tradition, eating the skin isn't just practical. It's a way of respecting the whole animal, of connecting to what heals you. In every bite, there's not just flavor, but memory. Not just protein, but peace. Next, we'll step into one of the most beloved daily rituals in Japan. The warm, comforting miso soup and the surprising collagen benefits it brings. Collagen Food 3. Miso soup with wakame, gentle on the stomach, powerful for joints. There's something sacred about how the Japanese begin their day, not with sugar or caffeine, but with warmth. A quiet bowl of miso soup, steam rising, the scent of fermented soy and sea mingling softly in the air. It's not loud, it doesn't demand attention, and yet it heals. Miso soup is served not just in temples and traditional inns, but in hospitals and homes. It's one of Japan's most enduring daily rituals, especially for the elderly. And while it may not contain collagen directly, it plays a critical role in how the body creates collagen, absorbs nutrients, and reduces inflammation. The perfect trio for anyone dealing with leg swelling or stiff joints. Let's begin with miso itself. Miso is a fermented paste made from soybeans and sometimes rice or barley. Through fermentation, miso becomes rich in probiotics, which support gut health, crucial because your digestive system needs to be functioning well to absorb the very nutrients required to make collagen. Vitamin C, zinc, copper, and amino acids like glycine and proline. Glycine, found naturally in miso, is not just a collagen builder, It's also calming for the nervous system. That's why miso soup is often served in the evening too. It doesn't just soothe the stomach, it soothes the whole body. Then there's wakame, a silky seaweed often added to miso soup. Wakame may look delicate, but it's loaded with minerals, magnesium, iodine, and calcium. These minerals help regulate joint function, reduce fluid retention, and calm chronic low-level inflammation, one of the silent culprits behind joint pain and leg swelling. When I visited a small clinic outside Nara, I met an elderly woman who had survived 2 strokes and was learning to walk again. Her hands trembled as she lifted the bowl, but her eyes were bright. "The soup gives me strength," she said. "Not in big ways, but enough to stand a little longer each day." There's also something deeply psychological about miso soup. The warmth signals safety. The fermentation supports immunity. The saltiness satisfies the senses. It's a simple ancient food that says you're cared for. In many ways, it's Japan's version of chicken soup, but with an added layer of gut support and mineral richness. To make it at home, you don't need much. Just heat water gently. Never let it boil. Stir in a spoonful of miso paste, white or red, depending on your taste. Add rehydrated wakame, cubes of soft tofu, and a handful of sliced green onions. You can customize it, but don't overcomplicate it. The magic is in its simplicity. Collagen food no. 4, tendon stew, yusuji nikomi, a slow-cooked comfort dish. In the colder months of Japan, when the air smells of wood smoke and the days grow short, kitchens begin to fill with the slow, savory aroma of yusuji nikomi, beef tendon stew. It's not flashy or fast, but it is powerful, especially for those whose joints ache and legs swell with every step. Beef tendon may look tough and rubbery at first glance, but when simmered for hours, it becomes soft, silky, and deeply nourishing. Rich in type I and type 3 collagen, tendon supports the structural integrity of your skin, ligaments, and blood vessels. It's especially helpful for aging joints that have lost elasticity or have begun to weaken under the strain of time. In Japan, this dish is both traditional and deeply personal. Recipes are often passed down through generations, varying slightly from one family to another. But the essence is the same: slow cooking, warm broth, and deep nourishment. When I lived in Osaka, a patient in his late 80s invited me to his home one December evening. He'd lost his wife a few years earlier, but still cooked her favorite winter stew, yusuji nikomi, every week. "It reminds my knees to keep working," he said, with a quiet laugh. He showed me how he simmered beef tendon with daikon radish, ginger, soy sauce, and a splash of sake. The scent was earthy and rich. He served it with a bowl of rice and green tea. His hands, though wrinkled, moved steadily, his posture upright. He had no walker, no pills on the table, just soup. This dish is more than comfort. It's functional food at its finest. As the tendon breaks down during slow cooking, collagen is released into the broth. This gelatinous liquid supports tissue repair and keeps joints cushioned, allowing for smoother, pain-free movement. It also improves skin elasticity and strengthens blood vessel walls, making it a perfect choice for those suffering from swelling in the legs. And the daikon, a type of Japanese radish, adds anti-inflammatory properties and aids digestion, making the meal even more supportive of recovery and balance. You don't need a Japanese clay pot or fancy ingredients to make it at home. You can use a slow cooker or a regular pot. Simply simmer beef tendon, available in Asian markets or some butchers, with ginger, onions, soy sauce, and a splash of mirin or sake if available. Add radish or carrots toward the end to keep them soft but intact. Collagen Food 5. Eggshell membrane, a secret from Japanese home remedies. It's easy to miss, thin, nearly transparent, and often thrown away without a second thought. But in traditional Japanese home remedies, the membrane inside an eggshell is treated with quiet reverence, as a natural source of healing for aching joints. This thin layer, nestled between the hard shell and the egg white, is rich in collagen, particularly type Y, as well as hyaluronic acid, chondroitin, and glucosamine, a powerful combination that supports cartilage regeneration, reduces inflammation, and helps retain moisture in the joints. In Japan, especially in rural regions, elders have long saved the inner membrane of boiled eggs. Some would dry it, grind it into a fine powder, and add it to warm porridge or mix it into miso soup. Others would simply peel it carefully and let it dissolve in warm tea. It wasn't medicine from a pharmacy, it was nourishment from nature. When I spoke with a 92-year-old farmer in Nagano, she showed me a small tin she kept near her stove. Inside was a mix of powdered eggshell membrane and dried bonito flakes. Just a pinch every morning, she said, for my knees and my garden. She still walked the fields every spring. Scientific studies have begun to confirm what these elders always seem to know. Daily intake of eggshell membrane may help reduce joint pain and stiffness in as little as 4 to 6 weeks. Its naturally occurring nutrients work gently to rebuild the lining between your bones, helping you bend, walk, and stand with greater ease. If you want to try this at home, start by boiling organic eggs. After peeling, gently remove the soft membrane from the inside of the shell. You can let it dry on a clean plate, crush it into powder, and store it in an airtight container. Use just a small pinch in soup, tea, or even yogurt. The flavor is mild, almost unnoticeable, but the impact can be deep. In the fast-paced Western world, remedies like these often get lost. But in Japanese homes, where healing is passed down like family stories, even the most fragile layer of an eggshell holds value. And sometimes, that's all it takes. A thin layer, a small habit, a quiet commitment to care. Up next, we'll discover a dish without any collagen, but one that helps your body create more of its own, while also moving your blood and lightening your legs. Collagen food. Konnyaku, the jelly that moves your blood. At first glance, konnyaku looks unremarkable. A grayish, jelly-like block with specks of seaweed, soft to the touch but firm when sliced. It's often called devil's tongue yam in English, but in Japan it's known more affectionately as the broom of the intestines. And while it contains no collagen, it plays a powerful supporting role in the body's natural collagen production and circulation. Made from the konjac root, konnyaku is incredibly low in calories and high in glucomannan, a soluble fiber that sweeps through the digestive tract, helping remove waste and reduce inflammation. But what makes it so valuable for aging bodies is its effect on blood flow and cellular renewal. Healthy blood flow means more oxygen, more nutrients, and better delivery of collagen-building blocks to your skin, joints, and muscles. If your circulation is sluggish, your legs may swell, your joints may ache, and your healing slows. Konnyaku helps move things along, quietly and gently. It's also a staple in the Japanese winter stew oden, where it simmers for hours, soaking up the flavor of dashi broth. The texture is springy, the taste mild, but its impact is significant. Many elders in Japan eat konnyaku weekly to support both digestion and metabolic balance, which in turn keeps their connective tissues supple and joints moving smoothly. I remember one elderly man in Yamagata who served konyaku slices sautéed with sesame oil and a bit of soy sauce. He called it food for the knees. Every time he ate it, he'd say, "I can feel my legs saying thank you." If you're curious to try it, konyaku is often sold in Japanese or Asian grocery stores, usually in block or noodle form. You can slice it into cubes and add it to stews, soups, or lightly stir-fry it with vegetables. It absorbs flavor well and brings a unique, chewy texture to dishes. While it may not directly contain collagen, it helps create the environment where collagen can thrive by cleaning, circulating, and supporting the systems that repair and rebuild your tissues. Healing doesn't always begin in the clinic. Sometimes it begins in the kitchen with a warm bowl, a soft spoonful, and the quiet belief that your body can still repair. Each of the 6 foods we explored today, whether rich in collagen or quietly supporting its creation, offers more than just nutrients. They offer permission to slow down, to nourish gently, to honor the years behind you and care for the ones ahead. Leg swelling, joint stiffness, loss of movement. They can feel overwhelming. But small, daily changes can make a real difference. A sip of miso soup, a piece of fish with the skin on, a slow-cooked stew on a Sunday afternoon. These are not just meals, they're messages of care you send to yourself. And it starts with one bite. So I'd love to hear from you. Which of these foods would you like to try first? Or do you already have a comfort dish that supports your joints and keeps you moving? Please share it in the comments. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep walking this path together, one healing step at a time.